Ow! Ow! Oh, hi there. It's Coach Paul from the Boys and Girls Club of Tampa Bay. It's a beautiful sunny day out here in the outdoors. It's about 12, 16 degrees, which means for us Floridians, that's about time to cozy up, gather around the fire, and have some of that sweet hot chocolate. Maybe we'll even whip out some of that great campfire snack. I'm talking glizzies, but before we guzzle down some charred up glizzies, we need to make a fire. So let's book.
If you're in a pinch, there's no need to hide, 'cause it's Coach Paul's Survival Guide. Glizzies.
But before we start a fire, we need to go over some safety instructions. If you're making a fire, make sure you just make one. That means build it in an open space, somewhere that not everything else is going to catch. As you can see, there is nothing around here that's going to catch on fire except for my phone. I have made sure that I am in an area that is safe to build a fire. I'm allowed to, I have permission. There's a dug pit right here, so the fire is not going to spread. Fire is awesome and super dangerous, so if you are a minor, make sure you have permission and supervision before you start. Some parks have different rules at different times of year, so you could be building a fire that is illegal, so you want to make sure so you don't get fined. And you also don't burn the whole forest down. Fire goes up, so don't build it beneath something that's gonna catch on fire. Be aware of space and be aware of the things around you so that nothing else catches on fire that you don't want to. Never throw plastic or anything that is not supposed to be in a fire into a fire, because that is not good for the world, and we like the world. Be aware of what you're wearing. I have this, and that will catch on fire, so when I start, this will not be around my wrist. If you have long hair, tie your hair back so it doesn't catch on fire. Now this is obvious, but I think it's pretty important. Fire is hot. Don't touch fire. Just feel like that needs to be said for illegal reasons. And be aware that fire spreads heat to other things, so if you touch those, you might get burned. Lastly, I know what I'm doing. I know how to build a fire safely already, but just in case, behind the camera, I have a jug of water so that if something goes wrong or something catches on fire and I need to put it out, I can pour that water all over it and solve my problems. So make sure you have water nearby or a hose nearby so that if you are building a fire and it gets out of control, you can get back in control. Now, safety is very important, but easily the second most important step is getting the glizzies. Fire is all about preparation, and to cook these glizzies, we're gonna need some fuel. And no, I am not talking about lighter fluid, nor am I talking about gasoline. You should never put gasoline on a fire. That's how people die. But even so, we don't need lighter fluid. All we need is one match, some good fuel, and preparation, and determination. So the three types of fuel that you need to know about are tinder, that's small flammable stuff like pine needles, dried palm fronds, paper. The second type is kindling, that is your small sticks and your twigs, the stuff that is not going to burn from a match but will burn pretty easily. The way you know it's good kindling is if you snap it, and it sounds like that. Now the third type is your regular firewood. Those are your logs. So we've got our tinder, the dried palm fronds that'll burn really fast. We've got our kindling, which are all of the twigs that are going to burn second fast. Then we've got some bigger logs, some even bigger logs, and most importantly, the glizzies. But first, a word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by trees. Gotta have 'em, or else you'll die. Coming up next on Disney Channel, it's Coach Paul's Survival Guide.
First, we're gonna get the dried palm fronds, the tinder. We're gonna lay it down there. That's what we're gonna end up lighting. Then I'm gonna kind of build a cone here, I guess. We're gonna see if I can do it. My goal is to give enough space for when I light the tinder, there's air that can get in, and then it can feed the fire. Fire travels up, it'll burn the things on top of it. Now it's time to light this bad boy. This is a shoelace, and it is all I need to start this fire. A shoelace, a stick, some determination. Saw this one time before in a movie. And here we go. And here we go. Well, it didn't burn. The palm fronds are not burning the way I wanted them to. I think we've got something good going here. I don't know if you can see it, but this camera can. So let's just shove that in there. Gonna put on some gloves so I don't burn myself. Ooh, it looks like we've got a good fire going. So a little known thing about fire is that it's kind of like a hot pocket. It's best when it doesn't burn your house down. Make sure you don't leave it unattended. I am watching this pretty closely. I'm gonna back up this camera the second I'm done talking because the fire is starting to touch it. Actually, I'm gonna do it right now. Now we're about ready for the most important step. But first, another word from our sponsor.
This episode is brought to you by rocks. Rocks. They're not food. Please don't eat them.
Get yourself a spear thing, or whatever the heck this is called, like a fork, a two-pronged fork. This is telescopic. I like mine a little bit charred before I guzzle them down. Cooking a good glizzy takes some real time, so you gotta be patient. Like making a fire, you need to be patient. Cooking glizzies is really a good metaphor for life. Sometimes it tastes great. Well, don't these look just delicious? Definitely want to eat them. We've cooked our glizzies. These just look delicious. I've already taken a bite out of them because I just couldn't resist, but that's a good one. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed making your glizzies. Glizzies are all about family, all about friends, all about being at peace with yourself. So whether you're alone, whether you're with people, if you're around fire and you're cooking glizzies, life is a better thing. I hope you enjoy it.
This episode is brought to you by Paul's mom. Paul, your mom wanted me to tell you that you need to clean your room. This episode is brought to you by this old ham sandwich I found outside. It's probably still good, right? This episode is brought to you by me, the ad read guy. Paul won't let me leave, and I miss my family. Please help me. This episode is brought to you by Paul's Social Security number. Paul's Social Security number, 563.
Just kidding, the video isn't over. You can also make some s'mores. All you have to do in 13 simple steps that I will tell you now is take some graham crackers, your glizzy, and some chocolate, put it together like this, and you...